Kyle Hamilton is going to be a Pro Bowler this year. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing the Ravens content as much as possible. Now, training camp is back, or not even training camp, practice is here. The pads are on. The Baltimore Ravens are practicing. I'm sure you guys are seeing clips, surface of practice highlights, not just from the Ravens. Shout out to George Pickens. He did have a pretty nasty catch over my boy Joey Porter Jr. today. I'm sure you guys are going to see it way too many times, but that's besides the point. Overall, pretty exciting day for sports. MLB trade deadline, so hopefully the Orioles go after a starting pitcher, and they're able to get somebody. I don't expect the Braves to do anything, but go Braves, I guess. I'll be in Chicago this weekend for that series. If anybody's in Chicago, hit me up. I'd love to meet some of you guys. If anybody's out there, I don't expect very many people because obviously this is a Ravens channel, or mostly a Ravens channel. And I'm not going to Baltimore, so. But if anybody happens to be there, feel free to hit me up on Twitter, YouTube comment section, something like that. If you guys want to, meet up or something like that, I'd love to do it. But in this video today, I saw a lot of hype. A lot of people started talking about this today. I was like, I'll chime in because Kyle Hamilton is one of my favorite players in the NFL. He's one of my favorite draft prospects I've ever scouted. And you guys know that. I talked about him countless times in the pre-draft. Last year was him, and I just felt like he wouldn't be able to go to the Ravens because I felt like if I'm an NFL GM, I'm easily taking him top 10. I had him, I want to say, top 5 in that class, as talents. He was in that top 5 with Sauce Gardner. I can't remember the rest of the top 5. I did have a top 5, but I don't remember who else. I know it was Sauce and Kyle Hamilton were in there. But overall, he is now the starting safety. There is no Chuck Clark. He's going to be out there consistently. What does he need to do to make that Pro Bowl appearance? And I'm going to say this. I think Kyle Hamilton this year is going to be the best safety on the Baltimore Ravens. And that's saying a lot because I feel like Marcus Williams last year when he was playing was pretty solid. He had some good interceptions. He was able to track the ball well. But I think Kyle Hamilton's going to step up, and him and Roquan Smith are going to be seen as the leaders of this defense in terms of plays. Right? Obviously, you have great players in terms of Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Williams, the defensive line. We're going to see how they're able to perform. Hopefully, David Ojabo steps up. Hopefully, Odafe Oweh steps up, Michael Pierce, and the rest of that defensive line, Matabike, Travis Jones, and whatnot. But, I think Roquan Smith is obviously the big playmaker. And that's because he gets the third down stops, he gets the tackles, he gets the, just surefire plays that he's always going to make. But Kyle Hamilton, I think, is going to be that other guy where when they're throwing the football, they don't have to worry about Marcus Peters anymore, right? That was a big thing that teams had to fear was the interception with Marcus Peters. That's not there anymore. So who's going to become that new guy that they don't want to throw near? I think that's going to become Kyle Hamilton, and teams are going to have to try and avoid him because he's a rangy safety with great size. And we saw some big plays from him. I think the biggest play he made in his rookie year campaign was that forced fumble on Hayden Hurst. That was huge against the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, that was just a massive hit, turned the tide in that game and, really helped the Ravens at least have a chance at winning. I hate that I have to say a chance, but that was a huge play. That was like the biggest thing that I think he did in his rookie year, but he just progressively got better and better every week. And the Ravens clearly showed more faith in him every single week. And now he's going to be that guy. And when it comes to the Pro Bowl, we have to remember Pro Bowl is fan voted. And who do the fans vote for? They vote for the best teams. Remember the Ravens had like 11 Pro Bowlers in 2019? Why was that? Because they had the best team. And it was just like, oh, most of the offensive line, most of the defense, obviously the quarterback and tight end, even the running back. And it was just like, okay, this is why it's happening. They had a great team. And this Ravens defense I expect to be very good. And it's no longer going to be Marlon and Marcus in the secondary. Well, I guess it's kind of Marlon and Marcus. It's just a different Marcus. It's now Marlon, Marcus, and Kyle Hamilton as the secondary. Those are the players that could make the Pro Bowl. And I think when it's all said and done this year, people will look at Kyle Hamilton as a top 5 safety in the NFL. And if people are saying I'm jumping on a bandwagon or something like that, I talked about him in the pre-draft press conference as being a player that could step in and in his rookie year be a top 5 safety in the NFL. I don't think safety is a very strong position currently in the NFL, which is why I'm saying that. I'm not going to say that for. I also don't think corner is a very strong position. But I think that, I'm not saying that for wide receiver. I think that's a very strong position right now. I think that, quarterback's a very strong position currently in the NFL, but safety currently, there's some really good guys. I think Derwin's number one. I probably have Minkah Fitzpatrick at number two. I think those guys are very, very good. And then after that, it's kind of question marks and in who you're going to take, right? Obviously you have, Justin Simmons, Jesse Bates, Kevin Byard, some people like Jamal Adams. I'm just throwing out some names. Obviously, I'm sorry if I missed your favorite sleeper safety, but there's very debatable between who's number 3, 4, and 5. And I think Kyle Hamilton can absolutely throw his name in that mix. And other than Derwin James and Minkah Fitzpatrick, who probably won't be on as good of teams as the Baltimore Ravens this year, especially in terms of defense. I don't love the Steelers' defense outside of TJ Watt and Minkah. I think it's really poor. It's gotten better, but then the Chargers, obviously they have the pass rush and Derwin, but they're always so injured that it's tough to count on them. So it's just a situation where I'm like, why would anybody be looking at the AFC and not thinking about Kyle Hamilton as a potential Pro Bowl player? Because he ended the season and he looked great. Not great for a rookie. He looked great. And I know I don't want to put expectations on him. I never like doing that with young players, but you're playing in Baltimore. There's obviously a history at safety that everyone's trying to live up to. Kyle Hamilton is probably the second best safety the Ravens have ever had. Now, had for an extended period of time. They've had one-offs, right? Rod Woodson played very shortly for Baltimore. But Eric Weddle is probably number 2. But that was older Eric Weddle. And Eric Weddle, was a Pro Bowler a couple of times. He was always a solid safety. I love Eric Weddle. I hope he gets into the Hall of Fame. Do I think he should? Probably not. But he did end up getting that Super Bowl with the Rams. So we'll see if he gets in. But that's it at safety. Safety's talked about with the Ravens is this legacy position. It's we've had one. We had Ed Reed. And Ed Reed was the greatest free safety the NFL ever saw. And now everybody's trying to live up to that. And Kyle Hamilton is going to be able to give it his best shot. And am I saying he's going to go out there and he's going to, get 12 interceptions? Absolutely not. That's not his game. But he's going to make plays, and he's going to show himself as one of the best safeties in the NFL. I think he's going to be top 5, and I think he's going to make the Pro Bowl. Could even see a first-team All-Pro from him this season if he's able to stay healthy. But let me know in the comment section down below your guys' thoughts and projections for Kyle Hamilton and how he'll play in this defense. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe for more sports content, and I'll see all of you again next time.